Now you're typing? Welcome into the EscapePod, everybody, where we multitask like a mother. She is a mother. I'm Julie.
I am kind of. Hi, I'm Charity.
And guess who's back with us today? This is your first time on video.
Oh, yeah, that's terrifying.
You're fine. Wave to the people at home or wherever they're watching our little EscapePod podcast. As a reminder, actually, your job title has changed since you were last here.
Ooh, that is
it
very
has.
true.
Chad
He's
was
phasing me out of a job.
I think he would disagree with you. Like, that sounds terrible.
Hey, it brings me comfort.
Oh, my.
Off the rails in 30 seconds.
Well, technically, we're off the rails in like 3 because I said
typing.
we're starting and all I hear is typing frantically.
Sorry, I just...
So Chad was the transformation director, the very first transformation director here at One Heart, a place for hope and healing in Rapid City, South Dakota, where we have this awesome podcast suite. But now technically your title is executive director. And Charity retained the title of CEO. So now you know who all the people are. How much longer are you going to be over there?
Done.
Okay.
Done.
So Chad comes in with fun stories sometimes. So just, do you want to tell people, like, part of the inspiration for doing something like a podcast at this place is that if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah.
When we talk about some of the traumatic things and true crime issues that our folks who come here seeking help have dealt with. So do you just want to
I mean,
we
we talk about this with our guests. We explain how in a high crisis lifestyle situation, what we mean by that is when there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of scarcity, just things aren't operating smoothly. And so people are constantly, that level of uncertainty really activates the amygdala in the brain, which means that you're operating purely from emotion, fight, flight, freeze, appease, and you just cannot, for the life of you, even though you're capable, operate in prefrontal cortex, operate from that standpoint of, I can understand cause and effect. If I do this thing now or say this thing now or behave in this way now, it's going to cause me issues down the road. You just can't. And so we teach the guests how their brains are wired. And then we also give them that understanding of like, hey, if you've ever done these things and you could not, like, now you just look back and you're like,
like that was terrible judgment,
that's
and you
not
know
who
it.
I am. What the hell was I thinking? Well, you weren't thinking is really what the point is. And so when most of our guests get to us, they are in that crisis brain mode. And it can bring up some things that maybe not are so good, but we can laugh at.
Yeah.
Because they catch us entirely off guard.
Yeah.
And so our team is really good at like with the way we process things and staff things, like doing their best to not let that vicarious trauma just like seep into their pores and impact them. Laughter really is good. And it is...
Not that we're laughing at them.
No. Full disclosure, though, like it's just like police humor or first responder humor. Like they do this because it's a coping mechanism. It does not mean they are not compassionate, caring individuals that are laughing at people. It's just that it's a way to minimize the impact of all of the atrocities that humanity has to offer. And we see a lot here, and people bring a lot of baggage here. But Chad is really good at comedic relief, just in and of himself. We have a very good working relationship, and he's been squirreling away these little nuggets of things that are said, like, can you believe this? Just for the sheer value of laughter, because Julie and I, most of the time, our topics are heavier.
Yeah.
And so this should just be a good time.
Before we get to that, let's talk about what we're escaping from today. I'm sure I know yours just because we're slow getting started today for a reason.
Actually, it's not what you think.
Oh, okay.
She thinks because I was stuck in the queue with Pennington County trying to get my car registered. But actually, you can do this online thing now, and you get in the queue, and then it'll tell you where you're at. The only thing was like I'm at 10 and then 9 and then I'm at 10 again and I'm could not.
You're like,
compute
what just
that.
happened?
So no, it went really smoothly over there. No, what I'm escaping is two things. One, we had the hottest day ever in June. It may have been a record. And my AC went out in my house. Yeah, so we've been 2 days without AC. No one wants to visit my house right now. Actually, it wasn't so bad last night with the wind and stuff. It was kind of nice. And then two, the Mother-in-Law Chronicles continue. We've had some in-home nursing care for her, and they have been doing like memory assessments that she is completely failing. Like they are identifying, and they can't diagnose her like a neuropsych can. But I keep maintaining that the neuropsych doc got it wrong, and I am convinced. And so I just got some test results today, colossal fail and indicative of dementia.
Yeah.
And so I've just got to keep on this battle. But we did get another Cornerstone Caregiving, to come into her home another 6 hours a week. So we're getting up there to like 15 hours a week or so in home, just eyes on, because we're getting to that point.
Sure.
And when you start looking at places for assisted living, and I told her this yesterday, because she does have, moments where she's lucid-ish, and can like understand cause and effect and things like that. But I said, your whole apartment's going to be smaller than your bedroom. And that means the stuff we've already like
condensed.
Would just have to go away. I honestly think it would be, we're already seeing the downhill side, right? We know that the end is coming, but I think it would just be all that faster. And I said, I'd just much rather keep you in your condo as long as possible, where you're comfortable and all the things. So we're going to go for it.
I think of how hard a move was on me 2.5 years ago, and
you wanted.
And we wanted to move. And so, but, older people, I think, I just know from experience, like a move was really hard on me.
We don't like changes, people, humans.
Correct.
She takes it to a nuclear level.
Yeah.
She does not respond well to change. She never has in her whole life. So, and it's only gotten more.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, anyway.
Sure.
So just co-parenting my mother-in-law persists, and it's always an adventure.
Yes, and it will be for a while.
Yeah.
Chadwick, are you escaping something? You get to hang out with us for a little while this morning?
I do. Excited. I'm always trying to escape the heat. So I'm glad my air conditioner is not broken down.
Yeah.
So I would just be a brown puddle of mud.
You two could not be more opposite.
He's actually swinging over more my way.
You think so?
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
He is. It's changing. I'm rubbing off on him.
Mine's short and sweet. I'm escaping writer's block, which I think I kicked right before I walked down here. So hopefully, no, it should be fine.
Good.
Isn't it weird how like you either have it or you don't? There's like no in between with that. Like either I'm going, like you were when we started, or
seize the moment.
That's a technical term of getting over writer's block. Yeah,
I use
or
sounds
you just
instead
go,
of words all the time.
Yeah.
My husband will say, "What was that?" Hey, you know what I mean. Why do I have to say a word? You get it. You get it.
All right, onward and upward. I love that you keep a list, by the way.
He's really good at documentation. He's a pro.
True.
He's a pro.
If it's not documented, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Correct.
You could have been a journalist too. You know that?
Absolutely not.
Maybe.
No.
Why?
So good.
Because as a journalist, you got to stay like non-biased,
Neutral.
right? Like
Yes.
neutral. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed being that way. I like
Yeah.
I might have an opinion, but it's just staying right here.
Yeah, I guess that's where mine stays. Maybe I could.
Yeah,
write,
you would have been okay.
But because of my ADHD, I don't know if I could, like, to sit down and write something.
Yeah, that might have
Yeah.
been a struggle.
Oh, it would have been so rough. Started out really great for the first paragraph and go sideways really fast.
Well, tell us. So these are out of last time we called it like way out of left field comments that people have made. Again, kind of in crisis mode, right? High crisis mind here. Tell me more.
Yeah. So every once in a while, just let the staff know if you ever hear or a guest says something that catches you off guard, just shoot it over to me. And
I want to hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Harvesting.
Yes. And then I just have a document I just plug it into. Obviously, we don't do names or any of that. But, we just kind of keep a list going. And as they happen, I chuckle, and it makes me laugh because not in that for like the last 6 months now, right?
Right.
So so it's good to still be able to giggle, I guess, at the end of the day. So, and this happens before, during pre-interviews, during OBPs, sometimes when we're just walking a guest around campus. So we'll jump in.
Okay.
I love it.
All right. So we had a staff member who used to live fairly close to campus. Okay. And they lived in these apartments that used to be owned by one of our social services in town. But those apartments specifically were designed for people who were on probation and who had addiction issues, substance use disorders. Okay. And so she was walking into those apartments, in and out a couple times, and I guess a guest noticed. And so the guest came and said, that's where people live when they have an addiction or they're on probation. Are you on probation? It's one of our care coordinators. She's like, no, I'm not. They transition them.
Manager.
Yes, they transition them to like nicer apartments now.
Okay.
And so, but everybody
the
just
guests didn't
knows.
know that. They
Correct.
knew what they used to be.
Correct.
That's fun. That's kind of along the lines of the person who asked if you got demoted because you were helping out in a different department one day.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, oh, you're here now. Like, what'd you do, Chad? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Are you on probation?
Yes. Are you on probation? She was like, no. I don't. So the follow-up question probably would have been like, who's your probation officer? So,
Right?
yeah. And so we do pre-interviews, right, with our guests before we, approve them to come in. And a lot of the times, a lot of the questions that we get are not questions, but answers are can be off the wall. And when we ask, what changed this time, what's changed this time, sometimes we get answers that are out of left field, but they're kind of insightful, right?
Okay.
So this person's response when we asked that was, I just got bored of active addiction
Oh,
and living on the street.
yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, that is deeper.
yeah. And it was one of those where,
Active addiction.
yeah,
Okay.
and living on the street. So they didn't want to do that any longer. And it was pretty awesome to
Bored
hear.
was the word they used.
Yes.
Rather than tired.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Bored.
Yeah.
Same old, same old.
Yeah. Same old, same old.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're
Good for them, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, we go through the enrollment process. And during an OBP, it was interesting to hear the person talk about, and this is the funny part to it, we have things that people do to help around campus. One of those is kitchen duty. And they said, I like kitchen duty. I love mopping. It's like, oh, cool. And then they followed it up with, I got a real good routine down from prison.
Hey, skills.
They are skills.
I'm glad some skills are being learned in prison. That's a good thing.
That,
That reminds me
Hey.
of that movie Bruce Almighty. Did you guys see that?
it's been a long
Morgan
time.
Freeman is God, and he's janitor in that big building, and yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was funny. And I think the hard part with like all of these different situations is we still have to be professional.
Yeah,
So it's like making that comment of like, I'm glad you were able to do that. You were able to catch that,
Yeah.
learn that, and do those things. So we had a staff member walking two guests. So for like our HRM program, they go everywhere with them, right? And this is wintertime. And the staff member made a comment to one of the guests they were walking with that it's cold outside. You should probably bundle up. Okay. And the second guest that was with them said, that guest is always they're cold-hearted.
Oh, wow.
Joking, I'm sure.
I don't know if they were.
Oh, maybe not joking. Okay. Cold-hearted.
Yes. But these two, yes.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
B, yes.
That's one I have not heard before.
Yeah.
Is that slang for something? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. These two guests had never even met before. So they met in the HRM program,
geez.
and they became close.
Oh.
right?
Oh, okay.
And so they were just kind of razzing each other. So it was
Okay.
funny.
So maybe it was
That's
done in
fun.
jest. Okay.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Same guest going to MRT. We're walking with them, and this one just
For the folks at home, what is MRT?
it's a class where they go to learn to manage like addiction and their behaviors. I don't
Okay.
remember what it stands for.
That's okay.
something-
But you've
something
explained what it is. Yeah.
But walking them over to the class, and apparently this guest had a crush on somebody there, and Yeah. So they're telling the staff member, do you think that hot sexy guy is going to be there? And, the staff member's like, I don't know. I don't because we just don't do those things, right? And she said, the one with the lisp and comb over.
Well, everybody's definition of
Sexy.
hot and sexy,
It's different.
A little bit
it's
different.
relative, yes.
Correct.
I mean, even lispy comb-overs need some love, so
That's right.
that makes me happy.
I know.
This makes me think that our jokes about doing a reality show, maybe. I mean,
Chad's
you
been,
guys.
okay, listen, for years, he thinks this is the way we can bankroll One Heart is by bringing a reality TV crew in here.
If it weren't for the confidentiality issues, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
There's so many funny situations. But anyways,
So good.
she apparently got the number. Like afterwards, it was like, I got his number.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
that's
like,
probably
Wow.
inappropriate.
well, the guest got the hot sexy guy's number.
I know, but
I don't
staff
know.
member in a class.
No.
No.
Oh, he's also enrolling.
He's also
Yes.
in the
I thought
class.
he was a
Yes.
staff
No.
person.
No.
Okay.
It was another
Okay.
from the public.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
dear,
Yeah,
danger,
no.
danger. Okay, we're
And
good.
the first thing I thought of was like that first text message if they didn't take advantage of it. Granted, they couldn't leave campus, but just texting out, mind if I comb over? What if that the best first text message?
All right, you got to have a button for that, Oberlander. Ba-dum-bum.
There we go.
So good.
It is.
You missed your calling.
Yeah, apparently. This one, though, I will tell you guys, so a staff member was telling me, they walked in the towers, and you were talking about impulse control.
Yeah.
Okay. A guest just looked at the staff member and yelled, "Big forehead."
Is that Tourette's?
But I told the staff member I would have died on the spot. Because, like, one of my things that I'm self-conscious of is my forehead. I always tell people, that's why I always have, like, my hair down.
Oh, stop it.
I always tell people, like, my hairline is so jealous of my eyebrows, it runs from it. that's why
Oh my
it's
gosh.
such a big forehead.
Hey, I've seen you in the wind. It's not, your forehead is just fine.
No, when you see me in the wind, my head's doing this. Because it's like a wall, not wind resistant. It's just,
Okay, granted, maybe I had a lot of
yeah.
rum punch.
Yeah, my forehead is so big, my dreams are in IMAX. Okay? Like, it's so bad. Yeah. Told my friends one time I was doing my hair and I was trying to figure out if I just had a big forehead or if I had a solar panel. And it is, I know. My kids are like, it's not that big, Dad. I'm like, if my forehead was on you, you'd be bald.
Oh, come.
Isn't it funny though, like the things we're self-conscious
Proportionally,
about
yeah.
that other people are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like people, they do the 4 fingers and they're like, oh, yeah. But like, my kids put their on here and it's
But they
like
have little
6.
hands.
I know. And I know I shouldn't be because I
You're
got
a
big
giant
hands, right?
person.
Yeah. But I would have died if somebody yelled that. I would have just died on the spot.
You're going to have to tell me off the air who we're talking about.
Me too. Yeah. I'm super curious now.
I will. And apparently we have a guest on campus who's just really unfortunate when they go outside walking.
Like bad luck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pigeons just poop on them, apparently.
Oh, that's awful.
Like many times.
Apparently, often enough for them to say, if one more pigeon drops crap on me, I'm calling the police.
I had that happen to me once at a car show downtown. I'm just sitting outside and it went, and I had like sandals on. It went between my toes on my shoe. And I'm like,
Oh, I
give
can
me
one
your
up you.
gun.
Twice when I was either a teenager or like early 20s, I was working. It was a summertime job during college. Twice. Once might have been in high school, the other time in college. Bird once on my head.
Oh, God,
not
in your
even
hair.
kidding. Oh, yeah. I had to go home. I walked into my boss and I was like, I'm going to have to go home and shower. And then the other time was just like on my sleeve or something. But I'm like, seriously? Like, who gets pooped on twice?
Well,
and like,
because you know when they poop on your car, like if you don't get it off right away, it damages your
Yes.
Like eat
ugh.
acidic holes through your clothes.
Well, I feel for that guest because I
Singe your hair.
Yeah,
That's awful.
it is. I've only been pooped on once by an animal. Okay. My kids are different. But,
I assumed an animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
I mean,
clarification is why I'm chuckling.
babies sometimes projectile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were in Mexico, and this bird was trying to eat our chips, and I shooed it away. It literally flew by later and pooped on the chips. Yes, this was a
It's like,
spiteful
screw
bird.
If I
you.
can't have those chips, neither can you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Amigo.
Yes. But that reminded me, when they were telling me this, my dad used to sing this song back in the day about birds pooping on people. It was Little Birdie in the Sky. Why'd you drop that in my eye? I don't worry, I don't cry. I'm just glad that cows don't fly.
That's funny.
And I was sharing that with a staff member, and they're like, I've never heard of that before.
I haven't
think
either,
he
but I
made
like
that
it.
up. I think you made it up.
He probably did.
What else, sir?
So we had a guest, and I've never heard of this. So if you find a dime on the ground,
Okay.
a guest had told a staff member, that means dimes are a sign that someone is calling you from the spirit world.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I didn't know. That's interesting. Well, the guest that was standing next to them said, just like my baby daddy. And that was the first time the staff member really had heard that the baby daddy had passed away. And so, but they said it in a joking way, that they didn't know how to take it.
Right? Like, what do you say back?
What do I do with my hands? In that situation. You just don't know. So
No, I've never
That's
heard
me
that
in your
either.
office when you make jokes about being from the best tribe. And I'm like, I don't know what to say to that, Chad. Two other people from other tribes. I don't think I get to laugh.
you do.
Do I?
Yes, I promise. I promise.
Please don't get Julie in trouble.
No, never.
No,
Never.
he wouldn't. He
Yes.
wouldn't. But it was a moment of like, they're laughing back and forth. Can't remember what it was like. Cheyenne River, Standing Rock, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and they're teasing each other. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh right now. I even said it out loud. And then they laughed at me for making the comment. Okay. Next.
Next, we had somebody pre-interviewing, and they were from out of town. You know, they'd met our residency and all that. But the reason why they were here was they were on probation.
Okay.
They weren't allowed to leave. And this is the first time I heard this saying. They said, you know the old saying, come on vacation, stay on probation.
I need to get that over to Visit Rapid City ASAP. Yeah, that could really bring in a new sort of probation tourism.
Sure.
Yep.
As long as they're on the up and up,
Yep.
Yep.
changing lives for the better.
That's funny.
It is. It was the first time I
Maybe
heard
that's
of it.
our 10,000 increase in population all of a sudden.
I hope not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a guest who's recently found church really helps them with their sobriety.
Good.
And they admit just to the they're like, you know, getting crunk with Christ, or jiggy with Jesus, whatever you prefer.
Getting jiggy with Jesus.
I was like, that's
I'm here
excellent.
for that. I'm here for that.
Crunk. I don't even know what crunk is, I'll admit.
Really?
Crunk.
You didn't grow up with Little John?
What the fuck?
No. Oh, yeah, that's like their thing is getting crunk.
What's it mean?
Oh, it's usually like getting crazy drunk, but they're sober, so they're getting crunk for Christ.
Okay, so like drunk on Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
there you
Thank you for
go.
contextualizing
That is new for, I mean, I have
It
not
just
heard
sounds
that
like
before.
a really kind of dirty word to me.
Yeah, well, I
It
mean,
sounds like
yeah.
okay. I mean, like, what does that mean?
If you ever listen to Little John, it can be, yes.
Probably not in my future.
No.
No,
I
you know
this
me.
is the one moment, and I
Okay.
hate to say it, you guys, I feel young.
He's never said that.
I don't.
He has
Usually
this
I say
old
I'm
man
too old for
He
syndrome.
that.
does. You
Yeah.
have an
I can't believe you haven't heard of Little John.
No.
I've heard of Little John.
Oh, you
I don't
have?
listen to Little John.
I mean.
Is
don't
it little or lil?
Lil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I have no idea who that person is.
I mean,
Artist.
I've heard of the artist. I can't say I've heard the artist. because I too am old.
No,
Apparently,
some of the the OG. I'm assuming it's rap.
Yeah.
Some of the OG rap.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
yeah,
That is the good stuff.
that is the good stuff.
Yes.
And then it just went downhill from there, in my opinion. Just stick with the genres I like. Yeah,
Right.
I think the last one is we have a guest specifically on campus who's always giving compliments, but they're underhanded compliments. Okay. And so we had a care coordinator who worked with this person, and they ordered clothes. You can rent clothes online.
Okay.
It's like the first time I've heard of that. It sounds really interesting.
Oh no, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
I've never thought. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I would rent clothes, but interesting concept. So really fancy dress, right? Wore it to
Okay.
work. Got done with the OBP, and on the way out, this is when I was still on that side of the hallway.
Yeah.
And I heard them say, "That's a beautiful dress. Where'd you get it?" And the care coordinator started to say thank you, and I guess at Walmart. I was like, "Oh no!"
Ouch.
I've bought clothes from Walmart. They're just fine.
I know. I don't.
But it was the tone in which it was. You
Correct.
probably
It's the
big and
context.
tall.
Yes.
Specialty stores.
Yes. Yep.
How tall are you?
6'5". I used to be 6'6". I'm just growing sideways now. So
Chad.
Gravity's a bitch.
it is so rough. That's why I go to the chiropractor.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
So it just depends on where you're at in your adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
You could be
I could be 6'6" on some days.
Right?
6'6", yeah.
Yeah.
We'll measure you right
Well,
afterwards.
this story Julie and I are going to do on this battle, one of the people I'm talking about was 6'9".
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, it's very rare for me to run into people, but I get excited when I do that are taller than me.
Yeah, I
So I'm
bet.
like, this is what people feel like when they look at me. And yeah, it is. It's interesting. But I've ran into actually a lot of tall people who have smaller feet than me, which I think is odd.
That
Okay.
is really weird.
Yeah, because we're size 16s, and I met a guy who was
No, you don't.
yes,
Huge
I
feet.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Where
why
have I been?
I don't know. This is
Gets
why
special made shoes all the time.
I do,
He really likes
Okay.
shoes.
and no, that's my wife.
Also you.
No, I don't. I'm into wallets. Katie, all the shoes that I have, Katie
All right.
usually buys for me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Katie does love shoes.
Oh yeah, she's
More
shoe
shoes
head.
than I do.
Yeah.
No judgment there.
Yeah, but I one time wanted to get moccasins. Okay.
Okay.
And I contacted somebody, and they were like, "Well, how big are your feet? We could definitely do them." And I was like, "I'm size 16," and they wrote back and said, "It's going to be expensive because that's going to be 2 buffalo worth." I was like, "That's rude. I'm not giving you my money."
Did it make you feel bad?
No, I just left because that's one of the reasons growing up why I can never get moccasins is because my feet were so big. And they were like, "We've never made a pair that big. Like, we
Hey,
can try
challenge
it.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, we can try it." But yeah, I've met people that are like 6'10" and they wear like a size 14, and it's just odd to me like to have that small of a base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Or
don't
like
know.
the other way, like my daughter's really, really short. I have really long feet,
Mm-hmm.
but hers are even longer than mine, but she's
Shorter.
much shorter.
I was going to say my brother
That doesn't
has
make
like
sense.
size 14 feet, but he's like not even 6
No, he's
feet
not that
tall.
tall,
He's,
yeah. Oh,
yeah, he's like average height for, it's strange. He always had really big feet. And I always thought my feet were really big, and now I have a kid who I'm like, good gracious, what happened to your feet? Like they're huge.
That's why I
now.
don't wear flat shoes.
They're
one of the reasons.
Those are terrible.
Because, and I think they look so nice on like tall, slender,
Right,
like, so
yeah.
cute, or with little
Yeah.
dainty feet. But on me, I can see them in my bottom periphery, and it makes me feel like I have skis on or something. Like I can see the shoes in my, it drives me nuts. So
Yeah.
heels.
Yeah, right?
You can see your
Okay.
feet. Your
That's how long they are. Look at these things. They're long and just skinny. Like I swim really well.
those are just regular feet. It's
They're not
fine.
regular feet.
Have you
I'm
seen
only
mine?
5'4", Chad.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Oh.
You just think I'm taller because I always wear heels.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is
That's true.
Oh yeah, because
I thought you were taller than that too. I
one
usually
time-
say maybe I've been lying about my height
No,
the
there
last
was,
couple
yeah.
years.
Well,
Then one time you wore flats and I got vertigo.
you did.
I had to back up.
Yeah. It's like, what's going on? What happened to you?
I usually say I'm 5'5"
like
on
5
a good
inches
day,
shorter.
but I'm thinking like gravity, like maybe I'm not as tall if you say you're
Mm-hmm.
5'4". I'm still saying 5'5" just sounds better.
It does.
I'll just go with that. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back to talk escapism co-host style. Hey listeners, did you know we are podcasting for a cause here in the Escape Pod? Patron support benefits the One Heart campus in Rapid City, South Dakota, where we empower people to overcome crisis and achieve self-sustainability. To learn more, listen to our prologue episode all about One Heart or visit oneheartrc.org. Welcome back into the Escape Pod. We're going to wrap things up in just a moment, but first we have to do escapism co-host style. You want me to start with Chad?
Yeah.
Chad, where are you escaping to? Someplace you actually want to be or do
You look like
or
he's
whatever.
gonna run out of the studio.
No, he's like, why me first?
Yeah, why me? I don't want to go first. I would love to escape to some concerts that are happening this weekend.
Okay.
But instead, we're going to escape to Deadwood on Saturday for a friend's birthday.
Oh,
So I guess that's pretty comparable.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Win some money.
Well, that's Katie nowadays. Like, she's super lucky.
She's the lucky one.
Yes, it has switched. I'm no longer lucky. Just on the blackjack table, that is it.
Oh,
So it's also the
that's
slowest
fun.
way to lose money. So that's why I stay
It
there.
is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would agree. I mean, I haven't played in years. But when I did, I was like, oh, you can play for a while on at that point, like $10.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Lost $10, but I played for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, how about you? Where are you escaping to?
Well, next week, I'm really excited because we're starting our new expansion director for the
Yes.
assignment platform. We can start ripping it up. I'm just really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be awesome.
All right. Yes, she is.
I'm
I
excited.
know her.
Yeah, I've been doing an onboarding thing, and I'm just so excited to get her here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can confirm.
Yep.
She is awesome. Also very tall. More tall people coming in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you won't be alone in your tallness. You'll appreciate this, Chad. First swim meet of the summer for my family.
Oh, here we go.
Escaping,
Yeah.
yep. And then 5 between now and mid-July. 5 swim meets.
I just could never, the outdoor meets killed me.
Well, because you melt.
Well, that and it's like, it's tent city, right? You
Yes.
just all bring your own stuff. You set
Yeah.
up. The kids complain about being wet. It's like this is your
This is your
athletic
sport.
career.
This is
Yeah.
what you do. That's why we're here.
So
That's
good luck.
funny. Well, I do love a good swim meet, though.
Yeah.
I can't help myself. So that's my escapism. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate everybody listening and helping us keep on keeping on here on the Escape Pod. Remember that we are on a mission to grow the podcast so we can pour more resources into One Heart in Rapid City, South Dakota, where we work and where every dollar empowers people to break free from crisis and reclaim their lives.
That's right, Julie. We really are a podcast for a cause. And here's where our listeners come in. You can become a patron at escapepod.live. Not only unlock some pretty interesting bonus content, who knows? Like, I think we have one in there that's the way off the rails kind of way out of left
From a while
field.
ago. Yeah, it was good.
Not rated. Would you say this was rated PG?
This one's PG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it
said
wasn't
it's
rated PG.
walking in.
But you can unlock the warm fuzzies of knowing that you're funding real life breakouts.
And be sure to download because just listening doesn't do us much good. But if you actually hit the download button, it boosts our stats, pulls in more ad revenue, helps us climb the charts so we can reach more ears. Share with a friend, rate and review wherever you listen, and hit the download button.
That's right. And about 85% of you that watch this podcast do not subscribe. So if you've ever enjoyed the show, please could you hit the follow button? We'd really appreciate it. And we do want to hear from you. You can connect with us at escapepod.live. Follow us on our socials. Drop us a note at justbecause@escapepod.live or send your wild escape stories or maybe your way out of left fields at escapeartist@escapepod.live.
That would be fantastic, by the way. We are closing the hatch on this episode of the Escape Pod. Thank you, Chad, for joining us.
you.
Remember, everybody, trauma may be inevitable. How you grapple with it is optional. So stay resilient.
And keep laughing. I got nothing today.
Keep laughing. See you next time.